Hey, everybody, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. My name is Steve, and here we are at episode 171, entitled Nindies Galore. Nindies all over the place, but it's no joke. Even though it is April 1st, no joke here. We got a lot of Nindies to talk about from the Nindies Showcase, but I am not alone. I am joined with the regular podcast crew of Greg and Barry. Hey, Greg, how's it going?
Good. How's it going, everyone?
Good. Ready to talk about this stuff with you and also with Barry. So, hey, Barry, how's it going?
Doing well. How's everyone out there?
Doing great. And yeah, like we said, there's a lot to talk about with the Nindies and everything. But before we jump into any of that, we just want to welcome you guys. Welcome those of you that are in the chat as well. I'm just going to call you Hippie because I have no idea how to pronounce your the first name there. Tie-dye. I guess. Oh, it's tie-dye. I can't read apparently, but Tie-Dye Hippie is in there, and then Jeffrey Jefferson's in there. A couple others guys, just join us in the chat. We love hearing from you guys in the chat and seeing what you think about all the stories that we talk about and everything. So be sure, if you're watching later, make sure you tune in live on YouTube so you can actually join in the chat. And we love getting your feedback. You can always give us feedback on social media. Just follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a Facebook group as well. Just search for NintendoFuse and you should be able to find us. You can send in questions to podcast@nintendofuse.com, and we'd love to interact with you guys in the future. But yes, no, Jakester, no April Fools. We're just all here. I thought about actually doing something like a welcome to like Sega Fuse, but I decided let's keep it all good tonight. And that way you guys know from here on out we're not going to be joking around. We're going to be talking about serious stuff on April 1st here. And like we said, we love for you guys to join in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And we'd love to get you to hit that bell as well, so you can be alerted every time we post a new video or go live or anything like that on YouTube. And also, if you're an audio listener, thanks so much for tuning in. And you can also subscribe on your favorite podcast app of choice. But before we jump into the news, before we talk about the Nindies and everything, we love to talk about what we've been playing. So how about Barry? Let's go to you first instead of kind of change up the order a little bit tonight. Barry, what you been playing?
I wish I could tell you I've been playing a whole lot, but I really haven't been playing a lot of titles. On the mobile end, I'm still doing Pokemon Go every day and Dragalia Lost. That I've been playing heavily. It is kind of. They've been doing. They just did a nice Dragalia Direct kind of deal. They called it Dragalia Digest, where it was like a short little video talking about the 6-month anniversary. They're bringing in a whole bunch of new stuff, new changes, new updates. And at the end, there's actually a crossover with Greg's favorite game of all time, Fire Emblem Heroes, coming to Dragalia Lost, which is really nice to see Nintendo's two biggest mobile titles actually doing a crossover. I don't know if there's going to be something on the Fire Emblem side as well, but I'm interested to see what happens. And then other than that, like I got Yoshi. I really wanted to play Yoshi. It's still sitting on my kitchen table, ready to go. Like I want to play it, and I haven't had time because of Final Fantasy 14. I've been spending so much time there, meeting new friends, talking, setting up our company, and working everything out, and just having a lot of fun. Greatest group of people I've ever met. Like outside of you guys, like it's awesome, and I'm so happy there. So, Steve, I know you said you were going to join. You haven't joined yet. Come on, I'm waiting for you.
That's true. I've been quite busy, and actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you now. In terms of what I've been playing, has been a little bit of Rocket League, and that's about it. I also have Yoshi, but it's in my Switch, but I haven't actually played it yet. So I put it in there, and then I ran out of time and had to get ready for the podcast tonight. So I actually haven't played it either. But so was that all you've been playing?
Yeah, that's it for me. I mean, it's just taking up most of my time when I've had time to sit there. So unfortunately, like there's so many games I want to play, and there's only more coming out, and it's just the backlog is just building. It's building. I'm literally surrounded by games at this point. Like no joke. Like I could just look. There's another Switch game. Just pull it right here. Literally, I'm surrounded by Switch games.
Nice. Oh, I guess Husson was right behind. Oh, he said April Fools. He got us. I thought he was right behind us, but I guess not. Yoshi, not Yoshi, Husson. His name is Husson. He's playing Yoshi, but he's only played the first level. So a lot of us, we have the game, haven't actually played it. Greg, have you actually played the game more than us?
Yes, I'm in the lead. I'm gonna beat you all. No, but I think I'm tied with Husson. I only did the first level earlier today, so I was hoping to get a second level in, but since I kind of missed a few things in the first level, I replayed it to get my 100% going. So yeah, I do enjoy 100%ing the Yoshi games. I like the challenge that it provides and collecting every single thing in there. So yes, the first level is 100% for me, but so far I really liked it. The one thing that was kind of off is they changed like the tongue and the jump buttons around, I feel. So it's like I'm like kind of like stopped up at times, because I think it's like Y is tongue as opposed to B, so or something like that, or the other way around. It just
interesting.
Felt a little bit weird, like trying to make them either like use the tongue motion or jump. So just felt backwards, but a little adjustment for me.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the box, and it looks like the B button is tongue, but Y is not even used at all. That seems.
Oh yeah, maybe maybe
that's
like
weird.
A or something. Yeah.
But other than that, you like it so far?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The first level is very cool. The storyline is as bare bones as you imagine. Kamek and Baby Bowser just show up and start. They want something and they can't have it. And Yoshi's got to go on an adventure to get it back. So
nice.
The normal, everything you can expect without the Baby Mario part of it. So the Yoshi games as of late.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it myself. Anything else you've been playing?
Fire Emblem Heroes. I hit the top of the tier. I'm a tier 21. I'm up with all the whales that are spending millions of dollars on this game. So I'm now up there with all the people that spend way too much money. So it's getting kind of difficult because their units are much stronger than mine, but it's still very fun and very challenging, and I still enjoy playing it on a daily basis. So hurrah for me meeting the big boys at the top of the ladder. So
congratulations, Greg.
Like ranked like top 3,000 players in the Aether Raids mode. So
very nice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Let's see. Let's go to the chat. It looks like Hudson's also been playing a lot of the new Power Rangers game on Switch, and let's see. He said it's really fun. The battle system is nice, and he liked that it's a budget title, so it's affordable. The main downside is it's 3v3, and there are only 9 characters right now. So yeah, that seems like a little bit of a downside, but glad it's fun. Goes back to Smash and Mario Kart and Fortnite as usual. Looks like Jixter's been playing Animal Crossing Pocket, and he hasn't got to play A Link to the Past again. And there's actually a lot more chat than I'm used to, so it's like it's flying by. I can't see it all. So yeah,
how dare you people converse?
Keep telling us what you're talking about, but slow it down so I can read it all. Yeah, so we've been a little bit slower. Let's say like there's a lot of things been going on as you can tell, as we were talking about games we've been playing. We haven't also been as active on our YouTube or on the site lately. We've kind of taken some time away and to get a lot of things done in our personal lives and everything. So if you've been like frequenting NintendoFuse.com and wondering, hey, what's with all the the lack of news and reviews and stuff over the last week or so, we do apologize for that, but we'll be back very, very soon with a lot more content We do have some new writers and things like that, so we're really excited about that on the team. Yeah, are you guys working on anything in particular? Any reviews or stuff that you're particularly excited about? You want to tell the audience about before we move on to the news? Maybe a game review or something that will be posted pretty soon.
I'm working on Battle Princess Madeline review, and I need to do a Treasure Stack game chat. I still need to set that up. It's an interesting title, but other than that, I haven't even had time to do anything. I wish I could do more. It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to play 12 is the new 6. I've had the code for, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks. I already downloaded the game, but didn't start it up. I need to start playing it so we can do, me and Steve can do the game chat. Maybe have a surprise guest, Jeremy, if he's able to play too. But
that'd be cool. Yeah, I had actually all intentions to play RBI 19 over the last couple of weeks, and it did not happen. So, man, life's been crazy the last couple of weeks for all of us, it seems like. So yeah. Hopefully we can get some more stuff out to all you guys really soon, and you don't have to be waiting much longer. Let's talk about the day of today. It is April Fool's Day, and it's a day that I often like to refer to as Stay Off the Internet Day. Because you never know what's true and what's not true. And there's been days, there's been years past where I have gotten fooled, and I hate it every time because I hate just being pranked. I enjoy pranking other people, but I hate being pranked myself. I hate being fooled. And so often I've read something online, I've watched a video and go, oh, that's interesting. Are you serious? It's fake. So I typically stay off the internet as much as I can on April Fool's Day. But it seems like this year there weren't as many pranks. I haven't seen as many jokes or anything go around, especially in the gaming world. But were there any of the ones that you did see that you were like, you know what, that was really cool today? Or maybe it really got you, anything you guys that kind of brought to your attention as we talk about April Fool's jokes today? Greg, I knew there were a couple that kind of grabbed your attention.
Yeah, the Fire Emblem Heroes one that Nintendo officially published, they did like a spoof summoning video of like new units available, and they made the unit like Faye the Messenger Owl, which includes a couple of her actual voice lines that I know Steve absolutely adores.
So awful. If that actually happened, that would be secured me to never play that game ever.
Well, yeah, they purposely made the unit absolutely ridiculous. It has like 999 HP, 999 attack, defense, resistance, speed. It's like unit always attacks first or whatever, and like opponent never can counter or attack it, and like it's like completely broken. And it's like she can attack from any space on the entire battlefield as opposed to just like 1 or 2 spaces away. So they obviously made it like super ridiculous. So
the real joke is that she's in the game, but there's just a 0.0001% chance of actually summoning her. So spend that money and try your luck.
Well, no, it actually says in the video there's a 0% chance, so that's rounded down.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Like, I probably won't play the game ever, but if she was in there, man, I'm so glad it's not true. I just hope she doesn't come to like Smash Brothers or something at some point. That'd be awful.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear her taunt. She'd be like going like, "Hey!" and then Steve's like, "No, don't taunt me." Like,
it'd be all enough to make me stop playing Smash. I know Game Explain also put out one about F-Zero Adventure. Did you watch that one, Greg?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of like it was like a 1 minute trailer, and it was, I don't know like who they had to work on it. It was just kind of some interesting footage. I mean, it wasn't like the top-notch thing, but it was just basically Captain Falcon driving, and then his car kind of turns into like an airship almost, because I think they were trying to take a Star Fox Adventures take on it. So because it was just kind of like they were kind of like, oh, here's a long dead series finally returning in like a new form, and like so.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like top notch, but it was pretty decent animation for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jakester mentioned in the chat. Did you guys watch the Nintendo Direct today? Yeah,
Yes.
there was the Nintendo Direct, right?
Yeah.
IGN got the exclusive.
Yeah, Nintendo missed the point on sending out the email on that.
But I'm so glad that everything is coming to Switch. Everything.
Literally everything. I mean, come on, Arby's versus Denny's. We gotta have that.
Some of them were pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that when they did going through the Zelda. It was like even like the wands of Gamelin and like the faces of evil, like the CDI games.
Yeah, but they forgot Zelda's Adventure. That's how I knew it was instantly fake. Like, come on, if they're gonna do them, you got to do all 3 CDI Zelda games.
Oh, I thought that was like part of the joke. Like maybe that's like the worst one or something, and like they just purposely left that one off.
No, they probably purposely left that one off because they didn't do their research. They also missed 4 Swords and 4 Swords Adventures, and even Zelda 1 and 2. I mean, come on, if everything's gonna be there.
Well, Zelda 1 and 2 are already there.
Yeah, they're already there, but they're not on the same service. They're on the subscription service.
I love what we're arguing about over a fake thing. Although it did get my hopes up because it was like, you know what? I think it would be cool, and maybe it's eventually going to happen. Some of those HD remakes are going to make their way over there, and I wouldn't be surprised if more Zelda games did come over eventually. But yeah, then it got pretty ridiculous.
I knew it was fake once the Ocarina of Time says play it again portably for the first time since the Nintendo 3DS remake, and I'm like, yeah, they would never say that.
Right. It's pretty great.
Oh, yeah, that's how they do like certain pieces. I mean, you can really tell it's like the joke at that point. I mean, sometimes you don't want to be led on for like 5 minutes and be like, oh, by the way, this is
until you see the Arby's one. So.
Yeah.
They're great. Did you guys find any other gaming related ones this year? That's pretty much all I saw, I think.
I saw 2 others. My favorite was actually from Square Enix, where they released the Final Fantasy XIV Omega Pocket Assistant. And if you haven't seen that, you really do. It's like an Alexa, and instead it's Omega from the Final Fantasy series. And like there's like a woman typing, and she's like, "Oh, Omega, would you send my document to the cloud so I can have it for the presentation?" And Omega's like, there is a 99.9% chance that your project will fail. So to save you from this, I am terminating your project and deleting all files. And it's like, wait, what? No, and it's pretty funny. It's like 2 minutes and well worth watching. Obviously that's a joke. And the other one I saw, which was actually on the wrong side of April Fools, where it was actually so convincing that it actually hurt their fans, was from First Four Figures. If you know who they are, they make amazing figures, especially they do Nintendo figures. They have a Mario and Yoshi one out now. They do Zelda ones. They've got Metroid ones, along other characters, Sonic and Okami and other gaming properties, Dark Souls, Crash. But they put not a video, but they put out a post on Facebook saying that they were selling out to China. And because China doesn't use Facebook because it's banned there, they were going to be closing their Facebook page. You had to go to Chinese page. All their figures that are $400 or $500 would still cost the same, but they would be using cheaper parts. They would be more mass produced. The quality is going to go down, like all this stuff. And like people were like, thought it was real because it was so convincing. They're like, yeah, I just canceled my 14 pre-orders, like I just canceled my pre-orders. Like, that's it. I'm done with this company. And I was like, like even the guy's father was like sending him text messages like, are you serious? What about your pension? Are you okay? Like, is this the right thing? I think this is stupid. And like, it was just went the polar opposite of what it was supposed to do, and they're doing damage control now because they pissed off a lot of people.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's what happens when you make it a little bit too realistic.
Yeah, that was way too realistic.
I mean, I know we used to do April Fools on our site, and then I think there was one that like Alex wrote, and then I think we had gotten a little bit of flack because it was kind of like too close to being like real for Smash Brothers or something. I think, right?
Yeah, it's always tough when you like you have to walk that line, right? Like you have to be like I enjoy the ones that are just funny. Like I don't really, like I said, I hate getting fooled. That's just a personal thing. Like a lot of other people like that. They just hate getting fooled. But I love a good laugh. Like the Square Enix thing. That's hilarious.
You need to watch that. It's like
yeah.
2 minutes and well worth your time watching that. That is hilarious. And there's other things, there's other jokes. And I don't want to spoil it here because it's more funny just for you to see them.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's why I thought the Fire Emblem Heroes one was good, because that's just way too ridiculous. It wasn't obviously meant even close. I mean, I thought that's why it was hysterical. They even had like the owl was just like doing like all these different animations and
yeah, that's funny. So thinking about previous April Fool's days and everything, do you guys remember maybe some of your favorite ones from the past at all?
My favorite would be the Legend of Zelda movie from IGN from probably like 10 years ago or whatever it was, because it was so convincing. And I'm like, oh, this is legit. And then when I saw that, I was like, no. And I still continue to rewatch that trailer over and over, praying like, if I watch this 50 times, maybe you'll become real.
Yeah, I remember that one. I actually didn't watch it on April Fool's. I watched it like months later, and it got me because like I didn't expect anything weird, after it. And yeah, I remember sending it to a friend. I was like, check out the new Zelda game. And then like later I'm like, yeah, never mind about that. That was totally fake. Oops, sorry. Yeah. But it was so well done though. Greg, you get any favorite ones from the past?
Yeah, I think it was actually last year. I think there was like a company that did like I hate being a broken record here, but a Fire Emblem Heroes one, but it was like a special version of Alexa or something, and it was like, Alexa, play me some music or whatever, and then it would play like songs from Fire Emblem Heroes, and then it was like, oh, Alexa, like what time is it? And then like a character would be like, oh, it's time to battle, and like it was just like all these like random like quotes just like in. I was like, oh, Alexa set an alarm, and then it's like even it got like a Faye YouTuber to be like, hey nerds, and like I don't know, they just had all sorts of like unusual references to the game and like music and stuff, and it was just really funny the way they incorporate that within Alexa. So
nice. Going to the chat, it looks like I Am Awake, who's Brandon, and it's one of our newest contributors. And he said the GameStop ventriloquist for the Wii back in the day. I actually don't remember that one. Do you guys remember that one?
No, I don't.
No, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that up later. But yeah, there's been so many good ones, and I usually love Google's. Did you guys see what Google did today at all? I haven't looked into it yet. What was it?
I didn't see it today, but there's some of the ones in the past were great, where different Pokemon.
Let's open it right now. I forgot to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I missed it because it just looks normal. But
yeah, I think the Pokemon and Google Maps and everything, those are always good because it's not just a joke sort of thing. That's actually kind of a built-in game, and it just kind of changes things up, and those are always really fun to
yeah, I know they've done like a Dragon Warrior version of like the map, and like they've also had they changed their name to like Topeka, Kansas or something like that.
Oh, that reminds me, there are two other jokes, or a couple others. I was just alerted that the game Ingress, apparently they changed everyone's icon to buttered toast. The Pokemon Go has it right now where like you can catch Smeargle by taking pictures with your Pokemon, but for today only, you can take pictures with your Pokemon, and instead you'll either have Ash appear from the cartoon or Pikachu with Ash's hat, and then afterwards when you back out, a Pikachu with Ash's hat will appear and you can catch it, and that can happen up to 5 times. So that's actually an April Fool's that there's functionality to it. And then Dragalia Lost booting up actually started off, and it was like, oh yeah, the game was like almost like fake to be erased, and instead it became like a 2D shooter with the fairy as the main character, and you're like going through this 2D level, like doing a shmup kind of deal. And afterwards, when you beat it, it's like, oh yeah, this was our April Fool's thing. Play this game as much as you want today, and they gave us a bunch of bonus rewards for April Fools. But it literally like loaded up, like you didn't even get to choose anything. It was like, oh yeah, the game's changed. Like now it's just this. This is what the game's become.
Interesting. Yeah. So April Fools, if you're going to do jokes on people, just have fun. Don't be don't be kind of crazy. Don't make people, think you're selling your company to China. That's just going to mess everything up. And just have fun. Just have fun. So I have a question for you guys. I think I know the answer, but I forget. I know Barry's an Amazon Prime member, right?
Yes.
Yes. And Greg, you get Amazon Prime?
Yep.
All right. So which by extension means you're also Twitch Prime members. Do you guys enjoy the Twitch benefits of being a Prime member at all?
I haven't done anything with Twitch Prime, to be honest with you.
Anything, Greg?
Yeah,
anything here?
I didn't even know anything about like this Twitch Prime through Amazon Prime, so that's news to me.
Well, let me tell you, maybe soon you actually will pay attention, because apparently Nintendo's getting in on the game. Now, a lot of times your Twitch Prime benefits involve some maybe free games or some in-game loot to some other PC games, and that's always cool. And I think when I first saw this come through my press release in the email, and I thought, oh man, that's cool. Nintendo's getting in on this. Maybe I can get some loot boxes for Rocket League or something in Nintendo Switch. And I was really excited. But then I was hit by something that was a little unexpected. Is that if you are a Twitch Prime member, you can actually sign up for a full year of Nintendo online service. So yeah, you should have gotten an email, or you can go to their website as well, and you sign up for 3 months in the beginning, and during that 3-month period, you can then sign up for another 9 months of free Nintendo online service, and you can add this on to your already existing service. So if you're already a member, you already have a Nintendo Online, you can actually add this on. And so for you've been, let's say you got 6 months left on your full year, you can actually get another whole year on there altogether.
Does that? What about for family plans? Because
it doesn't include family plans. So yes, so right now it's only individual plans, which I was interested in that too. I was like, man, let's look into this, and then the fine print is like, oh, this is not applied to family plans, so it's only individual plans. But it is interesting. I never really saw this coming. But Barry, other than the disappointment, it's not for family plans. What do you think of this little partnership between Nintendo and Amazon here?
I mean, I think any partnership like this is a good idea. It's publicity, and there's a famous saying: "There's no such thing as bad publicity." This is good publicity. It's good for those that are thinking about trying it. I mean, it is $20 a year, which isn't that great, and we already know Nintendo Online isn't that great, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, to get it, it's great for somebody who they have one Switch and they're interested in maybe giving it a shot. I mean, why not? If you already have the service, you pay for 3 months. What is 3 months? Like less than $6, $5 or something like that, and you're gonna get a full year for $5. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But not including family plans is a real, like, even if they said we can only give you 5 months or something like that with a family plan, it's really disappointing for Nintendo fans that have that, because the people with family plans means they have more than one Switch. If they've got more than one Switch, they've already given you an extra $300. I think they can afford giving us an extra, $13 in Nintendo Online for free for already being an Amazon Prime member, which alone is a $100 fee. So it's like, come on, Nintendo, don't punish us for having more than one Switch. If we already give you more, we shouldn't be punished for it.
That's true. Yeah. Greg, what do you think about this?
Yeah, that's very interesting. At least I know you can add on to it, because I might be like, oh, let's get my next year on board already. So that's definitely really cool, and I'll look more into that probably later tonight or tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, one of the things that I'm interested in is if I can use it. So I know you can share your Prime account with family members, but do each of those family members on your Prime account also get a year of Nintendo Online? If so, then I could add my wife on my Nintendo account and she'd be able to get it like the other day when I was playing Tetris 99, and she really wanted to play, but she had to play on my account because I actually don't have a family account with her also having Nintendo Online. So if she could use the family plan from Amazon Prime, the Twitch Prime, to also use another individual account on my Nintendo Online service, which gets really confusing. But if that worked out, that'd be awesome, because I'd get her a full year on that as well. But
yeah, I think what they're saying in the chat, I think it only extends. Like I technically have Amazon Prime, but I don't because my wife actually has Amazon Prime, so I'm actually on her plan. So
yep, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know that like Amazon Prime like had like the family thing until like I think a year or two ago, and then I was like,
oh
you know
really?
what?
No, we knew for years.
Yeah. And not only I share it with my wife, but I also share it with my business account as well. So like, it's like anywhere I like link it together, you can use the same benefits, which comes in handy for sure. So.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about Amazon Prime, and I wish Nintendo did things like that. Like here, you could share with other people. I mean, I'd be happily pay $30 a year for Nintendo Online if you could share it with 2 or 3 people. I mean, I'm already paying $35 for family plan for 2, so why not pay only $30 instead? But
right.
like they should do something like that, because it's all about encouraging other people. And there are families out there who their husband and wife both have Switches, and they have like 2 kids, and they each have their own Switch because it's so portable. And then you got to get 2 family. Like, you shouldn't punish people for getting more than one system, especially when that system is $300. You just shouldn't. You should be rewarding those people because they gave you more money than you would normally get from a 1 Switch household.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, if you have Twitch Prime, go ahead and sign up. Why not? I mean, it's free, and it's kind of like all the loot boxes and other stuff. A lot of times, I actually cash in my stuff even if I don't have the game, because I'm like, you're giving it to me for free. Maybe eventually I will get the game, and then I'll be able to play it and have some free stuff. So yeah, make sure you check out those Twitch Prime benefits, because it's great. All right. Well. Back now to the big news of this podcast. Last podcast episode, we talked about how there was a Nindies Showcase coming, and we made some predictions. We didn't really have much. We didn't really know what was going to be shown off, but then on March 20th, we got shown quite a bit, and I'll save the big one to the last because I think that's also what Nintendo did. But there was a big one they started off with as well, and that's that Cuphead is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch very, very soon. On April 18th, you'll actually be able to play Cuphead on your Switch. And if you haven't played this yet, if you don't have it on PC or Xbox, this is a cartoon-like game. Cuphead like sells his soul to the devil, and he's gonna the devil's after him, and it's this whole like side-scrolling adventure. And it's very, very like old style, like cartoony. It's really cool graphics. I have not played it yet, but now that it's coming to Switch, this is my chance. I do know that they changed the graphics just a little bit. It seems like they've taken off the kind of the haze sort of effect that was on the other consoles, but to me, it actually looks better without it. It like pops off the screen. However, some people have played it, and the loading times are considerably more on Switch. But what do you guys think about Cuphead actually coming to the Nintendo Switch with the help of Microsoft actually getting on there? Greg, what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's incredible that they're able to work with Microsoft of all things just to keep this going forward, because obviously Minecraft was started like that as well. So this is definitely a welcome change to have more games available. I did watch the first preview trailer, and it does look like it's something that I might enjoy. So I probably might be trying to look up to get either a review copy or just flat out buying it when it comes out in just like 2-3 weeks. So definitely very excited, and looks like it'll be a lot of fun and very challenging, and really do enjoy those kind of like action platformers. So kind of reminded me a lot like the classic Chip and Dale game, but obviously with like guns and more extreme. So definitely looks really cool.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's an incredibly challenging game. And like people have said in the chat, I think this would be really good for Studio MDHR, because there's a lot of Switch consoles out there, and this could put the game in a lot of people's hands. Barry, what do you think about Cuphead? Have you played it before, Barry?
No, I haven't played it. And the reason I didn't get it is because it was digital, and it was on the Xbox One. And despite the fact that I own an Xbox One, I think I put a total of like 8 hours into my Xbox One, and I have a day one edition. I will be getting this, but I will not be getting it when it comes out. They did announce that while it's coming out in just a couple weeks, there will be DLC being released for it afterwards. And after the DLC, they will be putting out a physical copy that includes everything on the card. And that will be when I pick this game up and probably give it a try.
Cool. Well, it's exciting that they're doing the physical copy for you then. So you'll finally be able to try it just a little later than the rest of us, but
that's fine. My backlog is big enough.
You're surrounded by games, right?
I'm literally surrounded by games.
Nice.
Based on how they're saying out so hard, it almost sounds like it could be like Cloudberry Kingdom. That was pretty difficult too. But I know that's more completely randomized levels, and this won't be. But I kind of got like that, like a brief image in my mind of it, reminding me of that game. So
Cloudberry Kingdom. I forgot about Cloudberry Kingdom. That game was difficult. Yeah. I think it's along those lines of some of those really difficult platformers that people have been putting out a lot lately. Even games like Meat Boy and stuff like that. That I think it's cool to have some challenging, really, really challenging platformers. And I'm looking forward to Cuphead. I think it's gonna be good. I already know it's already good. It's gonna be good that it's on Switch. So let's see. Let's just move down the press release here. So not in the same order that they actually went in the showcase itself, but just moving down the press release. Stranger Things 3, the game, is coming to Switch. And if I remember correctly, this game has the previous ones have been out on mobile. I don't know if they maybe have a PC release as well. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is the first time they've actually come to Switch. And it's like an older retro style. It fits the retro style of the show itself. And this is based on season 3. So it kind of follows along the lines of the plot of this season 3. And it's going to come the same day as season 3 actually comes out on Netflix on July 4th. What I thought would be really cool is they should be like, oh, it's coming out the same day as season 3 on Netflix. And so is, and Netflix has also come on the Nintendo Switch. That would have been awesome, but no, they didn't do that. So all we get is Stranger Things 3, the game, not the season, on Nintendo Switch. Greg, are you a Stranger Things fan?
I am. I've really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of the show, so we're already been caught up and been watching them as they've been released. So we'll definitely be watching the show. I don't know how much. I'll have to see the actual trailer for the game to see if it'd be worth getting. But as most people know, usually when TV shows and movies go into game form, typically the quality is nowhere near where you would expect it to be. So. I'll be watching this one closely just to see kind of what the game would be about and if it would even be remotely enjoyable to pick up. So usually it's mostly risky adventure, with most of the time being on worse than actually watching the movie or TV show. So
I don't know. All those TV and video and movies to games, they're always great. I don't know what you're talking about, Greg.
Yeah, especially GoldenEye,
That's pretty much the only exception, right?
I know, right?
That's not true.
I mean, the Harry Potter games weren't terribly bad, but I mean, they could have been a lot better, though. But
that's true. I like all the Lego remakes. Those are all great, for sure. Barry, you Stranger Things, you gonna be picking this up?
I'm a big Stranger Things fan. We both love it here, and it's one of those things where I probably won't play the game. Not that it looks bad, because it actually looks good, but we'll be watching the season. I don't know if we'll watch it exactly on that day or that weekend or throughout the week, but I know when I finish, I'm not sure if I'm going to go back into the game. because I don't know what's going to be happening. I mean, there's so many games coming out this summer, and that's happening after E3. So I don't know what's going to be there. So honestly, especially with it being digital only right now, I probably will not be picking it up. But if they release it physical, it's got my money, and I may play around with it then.
You know, me and Barry will still be playing Mario Maker, so
We very well may. You know, that very well could take all our time.
Yeah, that's true. I'll definitely play Mario Maker over this. I think it's fun, but it seems like they even made it like a big deal, and I'm just like, I don't. It's a mobile game that's came over, and I'm not that excited about it. I think I may have downloaded the first Stranger Things on my iPhone, but I think I may have spent a whole 10 minutes playing it, and then I got bored and moved on to something else. And it might be okay, but yeah, it's definitely not for me. One of the other games that they mentioned up front was a game called Red Lantern, and this is by Timberline Studios, and this is all about the Iditarod. So if you're unfamiliar with the Iditarod, it's the sled dog race, and you're basically trying to survive the Alaskan tundra with a team of your sled dogs. And we don't really know a whole lot about it. It seems kind of like mysterious a little bit. We don't really know exactly how the gameplay is going to take place or anything, but you basically have to survive there in the Alaskan tundra, and you have to like fend off bears and resist frostbite and take care of your dogs and all this sort of thing. It definitely seemed interesting. And actually, before last year, if you asked me what the Iditarod was, I probably would have told you you're making up things. That's not even a real word, because I didn't actually hear the word Iditarod before.
Really?
I knew sled dog racing, but I actually didn't know that it was called the Iditarod.
Dog sled racing, not sled dog.
Sled dog racing. No, it's like you put the dogs down, right, and the sled pulls you. No, but yes, dogs sled. Dog sled, any whatever, you know what I mean. Iditarod. That's a whole. Now I know what it is, and so I can use that word. But Barry, are you interested by this game?
I was very intrigued by this game, and I liked the idea about it. And I was like, as I was watching this, I was like, this looks like something that my wife will really enjoy. And I'm watching the trailer, and then the bear comes. And then I see the bear fighting the dogs, and then I see the bear kill the dogs, and I'm like, yeah, this went from this is absolutely something my wife will like to. I am not even going to show her this trailer because I know she's going to get pissed off, and I know if she plays a game in that environment, that like situation happens, then she will just throw down the controller and say, nope, not playing this anymore. Too much of a dog lover. So yeah, I probably won't be playing this, but I did know of the Iditarod. I've always actually enjoyed dogs, or next got me sled dog racing, dog sled racing. There we go. You got me all confused, Steve. Actually, as a kid, one of my favorite movies was a movie called Iron Will from Disney, and that is actually back when Disney did really good live action children's movies, but it like they didn't pull punches. And if you haven't actually seen Iron Will, I do recommend, especially if you're interested in this type of game and like, oh, I'd like to know a little bit more about it. It's very similar and probably will give you an idea of what it's going to be like to play this game. And of course, you could actually watch the real thing. It's actually quite exciting if you look it up.
Yeah, that's true. Jake's you're asking an interesting question. I think he's a little surprised that your wife doesn't like dog death. Who does?
No, my wife is a very big dog person, as am I, but she's very much like, you show me an animal being killed, like I do not want to see it. Like, you've lost my attention and you're dead to me. Yeah. And I'm just kind of the same way.
Yeah, I'm really I don't know if there's anybody that really does like dog death. At least, I mean, you shouldn't. But moving on.
It was pretty graphic for it's like a cell shaded style game too. Yeah. Like it was not. They didn't pull punches in that trailer.
Yeah. It definitely intrigued me because I think when they first started talking about it, I was like, okay, a game based on the Iditarod doesn't sound that interesting. But all of a sudden, then when they started showing like things went wrong and now you got to survive and other things, I was like, oh, all right. I'm definitely intrigued now. Greg, what do you think about this game?
Well, yeah, I'm not really into like the survivor type games, so I already kind of knew it wasn't for me just from like watching the trailer. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not like a huge like dog fan, but even just kind of seeing that, it just still kind of hurts. I mean, I know like when I guess just seeing like any like kind of like household type pets like die, it's like it's never really welcomed. I mean, almost waiting for like PETA to be like, "What the heck you guys doing here?" Like,
It's gruesome too. I mean, like the bear
yep,
freaking snaps the
yep,
dog's neck. I was like, whoa, what? No.
yeah. I was like, "What's going on here?" Like, holy cow! I mean, yeah, those horror and those type games I'm not really into, so it's an easier pass based on that alone. So
I did like how they had the developer though, like the director and developer actually talk about it. And I thought that was really cool. Like I miss when Nintendo did that.
Yeah. Did
Yep.
they? Was it the same voice? It seemed like she was also the voiceover in the game.
It seemed like it too, yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. Another game that was introduced by the developers themselves was a game from Double Fine Productions and Bandai Namco together, bringing a game called Rad. It's a 3D action roguelike set in a post-apocalyptic world. That is difficult to say. And as the press release says, as a teenage protagonist, players must journey into the fallow, an ever-changing, procedurally generated wasteland that holds the secrets of the past and answers for the future. And this game looked interesting. There was a lot of like mutations and different things going on there. It was kind of hard to really get a feel exactly how the game was going on, what was happening there, but it was enough to make me be intrigued, but at the same time, I still have so many questions exactly what's happening in this. Greg, did you get a chance to check this out?
yeah, it kind of looks like your run of the mill like 2D style type Zelda game. I mean, I guess it does have like that almost like the 3D kind of like space. So, yeah, I mean, it does seem somewhat interesting. I don't know how much I'll get into it, but yeah, I did like seeing like the three little triangles like in their logo, so it almost did look like a Triforce, I guess. So I guess that's what made me think of it as a Zelda comparison. So
yeah, that's true. I could see that for sure.
yeah, I mean, it kind of looks interesting. It should be like a puzzle adventure type game, and so yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look a little bit more into it, maybe see a few more trailers or something before I can make more definitive edition, like a choice on it.
Yeah, Barry, what are you thinking about Rad?
To me, it actually looks more like a Diablo type game. I like it. I like Double Fine. They've done some amazing games, and I'm really intrigued. I hope they didn't show us all the mutations in the trailer. I hope they kept quite a bit back, and I wonder like how, like what corresponds to some of those mutations. Like if you do this, you're going to get the snake head, but if you do this, you're going to get the wings, and if you do this, you're going to get, you know, the different tail or something like that. And you can actually like look at a chart and go, oh, this is kind of what I want, as opposed to it being completely random and going, oh, I'm just farming this dungeon because I really want the wolf legs or whatever like that. But yeah, I think it looks great. Again, it's one of those, if I get a review copy, you know, I'll definitely play it. But although if it doesn't get a physical, I'm just not going to have time for it, sadly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it looks really pretty as well. I think this is one of the ones that is definitely going to pop on the Nintendo Switch screen for sure, and it's coming this summer. Moving on to Katana Zero, developer Digital and ASCII Soft have created this stylish neo-noir action platformer that features a breakneck action and instant death combat. So players take on the role of an assassin, the Dragon, and they are to basically slash and dash and manipulate time to unravel their past in this brutal acrobatic display sort of thing. And I believe if this is the correct one, I think if you mess up, time actually reverses and it goes back to the beginning of the level. So you kind of have to like learn as you go. And if you mess up, you get to like try it over again, but it actually like rewinds on screen and kind of goes back to the beginning of the level. So what do you think about this, Barry?
This is one that caught my attention, but not so much for me. It very much reminds me of Dead Cells, which is a game, you know, I put in the Game of the Year awards last year. I played for a bit, But I have a friend who's really into Dead Cells, and I actually immediately thought of him. And after the showcase was over, I actually sent him a link and said, "Yeah, look at this game. You're probably going to want to play it." It definitely looks like a speedrunner's fever dream. That's for sure, especially where you just keep practicing over and over until you get that perfect run. But unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. So while it looks cool, getting hit and rewinding the entire level is one of those things that's going to piss me off over and over and over again. And I know that, going into it. So it's going to be one of those I'm just going to skip, even though it does look amazing. And if that's the type of game you like, I highly, highly recommend just from that trailer.
Yeah, I agree. I would not be enjoying that as well. But although, like you said, if that's your type of game, this one does look like a really good one. But I'd get too ticked and would just put it down and never play it again. But Greg, are those kind of games your kind of thing?
No. So I don't really like trying to repeat stuff. I mean, I also not super huge on the grinding, especially when it's required. So if this is gonna one hit and instantly gotta start over an entire level, I mean, I feel like that would just really frustrate the heck out of me. I mean, it looks incredible, and before I really realized that with just a single hit could really end your run like that, I was like, man, I'm for sure gonna buy this game. This looks fun as heck. So it's definitely a very impressive trailer, and it nearly had me sold on it. It's just I'm not usually one of the speedrunners that tries to do everything to the T and get everything done perfectly. So I think that's where I would have to draw the line and say yeah, I would love to enjoy it, but I don't think that genre is for me.
Yeah. I think this is going to be one of the ones that I watch on my Twitch Prime account and watch other people fly through these levels, because I love watching other people just hit every jump just perfectly and everything. But yeah, it's too much work for me. I want to enjoy video games. I don't want to have to work for them and be punished for every little mistake that I make. But if you are interested in that, it comes out April 18th. Moving on to Nuclear Throne, and this is a come out by Vlambeer. It's a post-apocalyptic. This is a theme. A post-apocalyptic roguelike top-down shooter, and it challenges players to fight their way through the wastelands with powerful weaponry, collecting radiation to mutate some new limbs and abilities. And the game offers 12 playable characters, 7 playable main worlds, 30 ways to mutate characters, and more than 120 weapons. And that game is actually already out. So Nuclear Throne. Greg, is that one you already downloaded? You excited about it?
Not yet. I mean, from the trailer, it did look kind of fun and intense, but again, I don't think that genre is for me. I mean, it seems like it's just almost it almost felt like a Binding of Isaac / shooter type game where there's the enemies are just constantly on screen and there's lots of stuff going on at the same time. So usually those super highly intensive games are the ones that I also don't really enjoy, especially if it requires perfect precision dodging and getting out of the way. So I think that one's probably gonna be a skip for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, Barry, what do you think?
Yep, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I didn't even realize it came out. I like those games, but again, with so little time, I really have to prioritize. And unfortunately, the twin stick shooter games are lower on my genre that I prefer. I do enjoy them, and if they said here's a code, want to give it a shot, I would totally give it a shot and give it a review. But otherwise, there's no time. Yeah. Stop time and I will play that game. That's my promise to you. You freeze time, I will play your game. Guaranteed.
Just like Katana Zero. You gotta.
I will play Katana Zero if they freeze real world time so I can play
real time. Yeah, I enjoy the twin stick shooters. I enjoy the top down shooter stuff. I find myself usually coming across one or two that I really enjoy, and then I just always go back to those and play. Like, I don't really need new kind of games in that genre a lot of times because there's always a challenge there. So I often just kind of go back to those same ones I played before. Like Geometry Wars is one of my favorites, and so I'll play Geometry Wars probably forever, even if they come out with all these new games. That's one that I'll keep going back to. But it's available. You can get it now. Moving on, we have Super Crate Box. This is a very basic game, like in terms of graphics and everything, but it's coming to to Switch, and it says, but it's going to bring back the glory of the golden arcade age, when all that really mattered was getting on the high score list. And the Nintendo Switch version will include exclusive 2-player cooperative and competitive multiplayer for even more arcade mayhem. And you'll prepare for an arcade delight with tight controls, refreshing game mechanics, cracking retro art, and terribly hip chiptune soundtrack. And that's going to be coming out in April. Did you guys check this out? Barry, what are you thinking about this game?
Yeah, honestly, this was during that segment where they're talking about like arcade classics and all that stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like, are we gonna get something really good here? And they showed this, and like that hype just deflated so badly. Like, and I feel bad because the game is probably a ton of fun, but it's not what I was expecting when I heard arcade classics.
Yeah.
So, again, this is one of those things where I'm not gonna get it, but if it's what you like, then by all means, you know, you should give it a shot. But that's not for me.
Yeah. Greg, what do you think?
Yep, I'm with Barry on that one. So, like, it does look like it could be somewhat like fun to play, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into some like arcade like style games. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's cool. I love when they do bring the arcade style, you know, looking for the high score and stuff like that and compete with your friends and everything. I love that kind of concept because that does, if it's a game I enjoy, it drives me to play it more and more to be on the top of my friends list and maybe, get as high as I can, the worldwide list and stuff. I don't know what the price is going to be like on this game. If it's low enough, I might check it out only because I'm always a sucker for a good competitive game that gives me a high score. So if it's low enough, that it might be something I do. But yeah, that's coming out, like I said, in April. Going along with the arcade stuff, we have Vlambeer Arcade with Ultra Bugs. So Vlambeer Arcade is a collection of bite-sized games. It's got a growing catalog, and it starts with Ultra Bugs. It's a fast-paced, high-score-centric game where players pilot a ship on your Switch to fight endless space bugs. And the only problem with that is the bugs split into more space bugs when they're defeated. And so it's similar to like asteroids, if you will, sort of thing. And it's basically the shooter game. You take out the bugs and try to get the high score, and they're going to keep adding more and more arcade games to this collection over time. Greg, is this, I know you talked about the last one. Is this enough arcade game for you to get you excited?
No, I mean, I did like classic like Galaga and stuff, but I was never really one to play, like, I still haven't played Asteroids. And this one kind of reminded me of.
Hold on. We need to stop the podcast, stop the recording. You've never played Asteroids?
No.
What? Oh, homework assignment time.
Happen.
Homework assignment time. Woo!
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I got my first.
All right, listeners, everybody, watch your viewers. We're just gonna take a deep breath with us.
This is an easy one, though.
And out. All right.
They're gonna kidnap me and strap me down.
This isn't a 100-hour epic, though. Asteroids, you could sit and play and enjoy in 5-10 minutes, and then you get addicted to it. But still, it's not one of those that you need to sink hundreds of hours into.
All right. Anyway, carry on.
Well, yeah, it kind of reminds me of like almost like the whatever Galaga Galaxian, but then you can kind of like rotate even further around, and then it just gets more intense from that. So I don't know. I was never really huge into like those like space arcade ones as much, but I mean, I did do really love Galaga and Galaxian, but some of the other ones, I think like Defender and there's one I can't think of that I've never really cared for either, though. It's the one that has like the 3 little protective barriers at the
Space
bottom.
Invaders.
That is Space Invaders. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, Barry, I know you played Asteroids, but
Yes.
is this arcade collection and especially Ultra Bug going to get you?
Still no. I mean, when I played Asteroids, I grew up with Asteroids. I grew up with all the great Atari 2600, the Atari 8-bit actually is what I played on, and I loved all those games. But that was a different time, and now where I have a lot less time, and even now, like playing Asteroids, it's a classic, but I'm only gonna play it, for 5 minutes or so, and I'll be like, all right, I got that little bit of nostalgia, and that's all for me. So if I'm only gonna play Asteroids, a game I grew up with, and I have 1,000 copies of in multiple different ways on multiple systems, for 5 minutes, then I'm probably only gonna play this for like 5 minutes. Why am I gonna spend my money on it when I'm already sunk down into getting the entire Switch physical library, and that eats my money away?
Yeah, I think a game like this and a collection like this really is, in my opinion, limited to your friends. So if you have a lot of friends that are also into that sort of thing, and you're always competing with the high score stuff, then that could be intriguing enough to get you on there and keep playing. And your friend beats your high score, and you want to get higher and that sort of thing. But if it's just myself, I don't know if it's going to be that exciting. I mean, I might try it if the price is right. I might jump on there and see. Is this a collection that's out on other systems? Do we know that? I kind of got the feeling that it is, but I'm not sure.
I don't.
Yeah. So, but if it is, I could probably check on the price. So, yeah, if you know this in the chat, let us know. Do some research for us. Some of you guys might have already played this before, so let us know. But yeah, that's coming out later this year. And then we got a game called My Friend Pedro. And this is an odd game. It looks really good. It's got some cool graphics, but it's from Devolver Digital and Dead Toast, and they have this game that's they say it's all about friendship and imagination and one man's struggle to obliterate anyone in his path at the behest of a sentient banana. And that's exactly what I read. I read that verbatim. That's how they describe it. So players unleash a torrent of destruction with incredible level of control over both their weapons and their body. They can twist, and it's like this acrobatic jumping around and shooting, and kind of a ninja-like side scroller. And this reminds me kind of a little bit of a game that was supposed to come out, I believe, on Wii U that we interviewed a guy at PAX East a few years ago called Neon Ninja. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that. I know that guy's still working on that game, but that's funny. Brandon just said, what a waste of potassium in the chat. But yeah, so yeah, are you guys excited about this game? I kind of am. Barry, what do you think?
This is actually a game that I've known about for a while because it was shown at Devolver Digital's E3 press conference, which I still think you guys haven't actually watched, and you really need to watch that.
I totally forgot. So
you totally need to watch that. Their E3 press conference is definitely one last year, and I can't wait to see what they do this year. But it was shown, and what's interesting is that this is, I believe, a console exclusive. I think it is on PC as well, but I think Switch is the only console for this, which is nice to see, especially if you watch Devolver Digital's E3 press conferences and how non-Nintendo those conferences are, to have them be like, oh yeah, our console exclusive is on Nintendo. Like, it's just so funny, and I'm so happy to see it because it looked weird and interesting and out there last year at E3, and it still looks weird and out there and interesting. And again, this is one, if I got the code or physical, I would totally do it, and I encourage, if this is your type of game, to play it because it looks great, but it is still no time. Poor Pedro, no time.
Oh,
I'll vote for him, though.
You're not voting for Pedro? Oh, you're voting. Just
I will vote for him, but but from the sidelines, I'll hold that sign up. Like vote for Pedro, but I'm
Hold your banana.
Yeah, with a banana in the other hand.
Yeah, there you go. Greg, what do you think about this your friend Pedro?
It just kind of reminds me of like when Awada looked at those bananas, just like
that's what he meant.
foreshadow. This isn't really my style of game. I mean, I just saw like all the guns and just shooting everything. Like you can shoot both sides, and I don't know. It's a little too out there for me. It's great that it's coming to Switch, and maybe hopefully it stays a Switch console exclusive. But I already know it's not for me. So looking at the trailer,
yeah, I almost kind of get the opinion or the idea that it could be kind of like a Deadpool kind of game. That's what it reminds me of, like just like that kind of out there humor, and then guns flying and ninja like stuff. You could easily just replace Deadpool. Right. So that is going to be out in June. So yeah, like you said, it's a system exclusive on Nintendo Switch. Creature in the Well it's another game they showed off that's coming this summer, and Flight School Studio challenges players in this top-down pinball-inspired hack and slash dungeon crawler. So yeah, that's exactly like it. That's just so odd, but kind of interesting to me. I don't think I'll play it, but it was enough for me to look into it, because I don't think I've ever played a game or heard about a game that involves this hack and slash stuff, but pinball mechanics. So it's kind of a top-down-esque sort of thing, similar to like the Zelda games like that. But yeah, it's hack and slash with pinball mechanics. Greg, is this intriguing enough for you to be downloading it this summer?
Yeah, I mean, if there's obviously the code, I'll gladly take it and offer the review. But if the price is right on this one, it might end up being like a purchase for me. I mean, I do kind of like dungeon crawlers, and especially when it has some like interesting mechanics. I know like It'll Do has kind of dove around with like the bouncing and reflecting shots off and stuff, kind of like a pinball like thing. But this is like obviously a full-fledged game around those mechanics. So I do think it would be kind of an interesting one to try out if the price is right for me. So,
yeah, Barry, what about this one?
This looks really interesting because I love pinball, and it kind of reminds me of another pinball style game, which Yoki's Island Express, which I just haven't played, and it's one of those where I know I want to play this, but I also know I'm probably not going to. And I hate that. It's like a super theme of this whole thing, because it's all mostly digital stuff. And I hate there's just no time. And there's just too many games. I mean, there really are too many games. And it's so funny because I think back to the end of the N64 and there was like nothing to play. And the end of the GameCube and there was nothing to play. The end of the Wii, there was nothing to play. And then 3/4 of the Wii U life cycle, and there was nothing to play. And now it's like, oh my God, I can't take it. There's too many games.
That's true. It's true. Good problems to have for sure.
Problems, definitely good problems.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that comes out later this summer. And we also found out about a sequel to a little game called Blaster Master Zero. So it's finally coming out. Actually, it's out already. So you can get the sequel to Blaster Master Zero, which is called Blaster Master Zero 2, of all things. And yeah, basically, Jason and Eve must venture into the depths of space to stop the mutant infection that's slowly corrupting Eve's body. And thankfully, stopping the mutant outbreaks is Jason's specialty. And so you're actually going to be able to continue that story and everything. I never played Blaster Master Zero. So when this came on, I was excited that it got a sequel. But I wasn't like excited because I wanted to carry on and figure out what was going to happen next or anything like that. I remember playing the original Blaster Master a little bit on NES, but I actually didn't pick up Blaster Master Zero. I was actually intrigued at the very beginning. I was like, what are they going to call this one? So like the sequel, but they ended up going with the whole 0-2 thing. Barry, you're a pretty big fan of Blaster Master, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, I got Blaster Master Zero one of the launch titles for the Switch. I got that as a code, or if it wasn't launch, it was like early weeks, and I couldn't play it for a while thanks to a little game called Breath of the Wild. But I did get around to it, and I did beat it. I don't think I got the perfect ending. I didn't 100% it, but I did beat it, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I was intrigued when I saw this. I was like, oh, a sequel, you know, and it was out today. And it was like, oh, cool, you know, like that's really great. And I'm like, you know what? When I played it, it was right after Breath of the Wild. There was a little bit of a lulls. I did that. I did I Am Setsuna, and then I did, I did Blaster Master Zero, and I was like, oh, this is great. There's a lull of games, but it's working like one game into the other. You know, Mario Kart was coming out soon. I was like, all right, I'm good. Now it's just like, why now? There's so many games. No time to play it. I was like, I haven't even opened Yoshi yet. So no, I want to play it. I know it's out. I've heard nothing but good things. Maybe down the road. I know there was a release. It seems like there might be a leaked release that Blaster Master Zero is getting a physical, which means I'll be double dipping on it. So if that's getting a physical, I'm gonna hope that Blaster Master Zero 2 gets one, or it's a combo with the 2 games in the same physical package. In which case, then I will happily get it, and then I will play it.
Cool. Greg, what are you thinking about Blaster Master Zero 2?
Well, I have a feeling this can give me another homework assignment. I've never played Blaster Master. I've never played Blaster Master Zero.
Well, Blaster Master Zero is a remake of the original Blaster Master.
I know. I was just kind of prefacing by saying I haven't played the series, but after like watching the trailer, it looks like something that I would greatly enjoy. So that being said, it might have me turn into checking out the originals and even the first game. So
you would like it. It's a Metroidvania.
Yep, I do love that genre, and I've already watched the trailer a couple times, and it just looks very incredible. So it might be something that I go download very soon.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm hoping that they actually put Blaster Master on the NES Online. I don't know if they will, because it might take away from Zero, because it's kind of the same. It's not. I mean, clearly it's a remake, but it'd be cool if they eventually put that on NES Online. But kind of moving forward, we got a lot more games to talk about because they covered so much. Before we do, Brandon's saying if you haven't played Blaster Master Zero, you should also play Math Blaster 3, The Search for the Spots. It is a totally different series, but yeah, it's similar thing, isn't it?
No, that's a joke.
Oh, it's a joke? I've heard of
Blaster is like an educational program.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it DK Math?
Caught me off guard. Stop with the April Fool's jokes. I'm so focused on stuff. It caught me off guard. I can't even talk anymore. Let's move on. I'll talk to him later.
That was good. You don't touch him. I'm protecting him now. That was good.
Anyway, you should still play Math Blaster. So Pine looks like an interesting game. It's from Congregate and Twirlbound, and it's like this stirring open world adventure with beautiful biomes to explore and puzzles to solve and secrets to discover. Similar style, like maybe kind of like Zelda sort of thing, but not exactly, but kind of like that. The open world adventure, and the island's factions trade and fight with each other over food and territory, while Hugh, the main character, learns about ways to influence the ecology in search of a new home for the humans. And this game is going to come out in August. And it's probably not going to be when I pick up, but it looks kind of cool. What do you think about this, Greg?
It does look kind of cool. So I do kind of have dabbled into the open world style games ever since Breath of the Wild and Skyrim, but I don't know if I'll have a lot of time to play it. That's where it comes down to, like, everything looks and sounds really cool. I just don't know if I'll be able to dedicate all this time into it, though. So, I mean, it'll definitely be something on my radar, and I'll look into it and see what other kind of games are coming out, like in August and the rest of the year. So, yeah, I mean, I know Fire Emblem will be in July, so I don't know. I'll have to take a look.
Cool. What do you think, Barry?
It's just one of those that's not for me. It didn't grip me from the trailer, and if it didn't grip me from the trailer, unless I hear amazingly stellar reviews and I hear you need to play this game with a copy, it's not getting in my Switch. Not anytime soon. No time.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it seems like a cool game, but it didn't have anything that like made it stand out to make me go, "Ooh, that's awesome! I got to play it." It seemed cool, but that was about it. And like you said, like in the day and age where we have so many games to play, I need something that's going to grab me that's like stands out, that's different than everything else. Or takes something that I've known and makes it even better. This kind of seems like just another open world adventure game that is probably going to be good, but it's probably like a lot of other ones out there. But if you want to check it out, it does come out in August. Moving on, we got Blood Roots. Blood Roots is from Paper Cult, and it's an ultra violent, twisted Western revenge tale with a deranged cast of characters. Betrayed and left for dead, Mr. Wolf is hell-bent on finding his attacker and exacting revenge. Players can choreograph spectacular bloody combos by making use of everything around them, from hatchets to ladders to carrots. And this game actually comes out on the Switch this summer. It's kind of like this top-down sort of view as well, and the colors pop. It looks I love the art style of this game. This is one that I'm going to keep my eye on, I think, in the future. What do you think, Greg?
I don't know. It didn't really look like it was my cup of tea at all. So I was kind of looking over the trailer just now, and it just didn't seem like anything really stuck out to me. I mean, I'm not really into like the ultra violent games and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't think this will be one that I will look too much into. So the trailer didn't exactly grab me, as Barry has put it, for the previous game. So yeah, that was my overall first impression.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's so violent, but it's also like very cartoony. Barry, what do you think?
2 words: no time. Yeah, that's a running theme here, and it's very much so because, again, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. You just don't have the time to sit and play it, and again, digital only right now. It's pretty much an instant turn off at that point.
Gotcha. Well, how about a little game called Overland? Finji is bringing this game from Adam Saltzman, the creator of Cannibalt, if you're familiar with that game. And in this turn-based survival game, players take care of a group of travelers in a another post-apocalyptic world. It's a road trip across the United States, though. This time they're on the road, and they're going to fight off scary creatures, rescue stranded survivors, and scavenge for supplies and all that stuff. And this game comes out this fall. It kind of has this grid-based kind of, I think it's isometric. Is that the right term for that? Like this third person kind of slanted view on it. I'm not excited at all about this game, actually. Barry, what do you think?
Nope, didn't grab me. Didn't look interesting, and again, no time.
Right. Greg, what do you think?
I mean, I do kind of like the concept of like the turn-based and like the grid-based systems. It's very Fire Emblem-esque, but I don't know. Like the gameplay didn't look like it was terribly enjoyable to me, so I think it might be an easy hard pass as well.
Yeah, it looks kind of boring, actually. To me, I think I'd rather take that road trip myself instead of living it in a video game, but not in a post-apocalyptic world. It'd be better. Now I just want to take a road trip across the United States, and then I can come visit all you guys along the way. Right,
done.
Moving on. Just a few more before we get to the big one. Darkwood. Acid Wizard Studio and Crunching Koalas are bringing this survival horror game in East Central Europe in a forest possessed by an unknown evil forces that corrupt all the inhabitants in the woods, people, animals, and even the plants. And players can get new powers by extracting a strange essence from the mutated fauna and flora and injecting it into their bloodstream. and there's a bunch of jump scares and horror tricks and everything throughout this game. It seems like we have some themes going on, both a post-apocalyptic worlds and this mutating thing that kind of keeps coming back up in all these games. I don't know if there's anything with that, but I'll say up front, I don't know if this game is for me at all. It seems like it's just one of those that's going to be full of a bunch of jump scares and like it says, the horror tricks and things like that. It seems kind of odd, like the views, and I'm not really sure if I'll enjoy it at all. But what do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I never really got into even like Resident Evil, so like I know this is more of like a top-down version of that. I don't think that's quite my genre of choice either. So I'm not really into like the super horror and scary like games. So it's almost like a easier hard pass for me.
Yeah. How about you, Barry?
I just did this. I'm just going to show this up here. No time. Nope.
Very
no
nice.
time.
Very nice. Even if you did have time, would you actually be excited about this one?
Yeah, honestly, no. No, I do not like horror games at all. I am not a fan of horror. I mean, I played like the Resident Evil, like the early Resident Evils, and they were okay. But yeah, this is one that even if the developer was like, "Here's a code, do you really want to play it?" I'd be like, "No, no, I really don't. I'm sorry, it just does not interest me."
Yeah, Jakester said you should make that into a T-shirt. I agree. I agree. We should put that on our little store. By the way, you can buy your own NintendoFuse T-shirt, just like Greg is wearing right there.
Yeah, porting it out.
So it doesn't say no time on there, but maybe we'll add another one on our store. And,
no time.
Just no time. No time. Too many games, not enough time. All right. If you are interested in that, you can pick it up in May. Download that. But also, we get a game called Neo Cab, and you're going to be your fellow traveler and Chance Agency. Messing up these names altogether, but fellow traveler and Chance Agency are bringing this game that's it's an emotional survival game about staying human in a world disrupted by automation. And Lena is the last human driver on the neon-drenched streets of Los Ojos, California, Ojos. I think it's Ojos because I think that J is an H sound. And it interacts with a diverse cast of characters with individual story arcs. And you basically need to balance your income and sustain a positive rating as you're a cab driver. And also you have to figure out like what's going on with Lena's job and reunite her with her best friend Savvy, and who's gone missing. So it's kind of like another post-apocalyptic, even though they didn't say it. It's basically what it is. And Greg, any interest?
It's like Uber the game.
Kind of.
Gotta maintain that star rating. That's super important, you know. I guess all jokes aside, it didn't really kind of grab me either. So it's along with Barry's future prediction of no time. I don't know. It did kind of, in another sense, it did kind of remind me of like Late Shift that we all three of us had played for a game chat. But this obviously is not like a first-person view. It kind of seems like it could be like a pick your own adventure type game. You have to like, pick the right patrons to get into the car, and I don't know, like in each the prize like a dozen different endings you can get by the characters that you pick up and whatnot. So I don't know, it doesn't really seem right for me unless like all three of us get a code to enjoy it together. So
yeah, I'm there with you, Greg. What about you, Barry?
This game actually
you got time
intrigues
for this
me.
one, right?
This game intrigues me. I really like the concept of it. I actually really enjoyed Late Shift, even though it was really just a movie. I really enjoyed Late Shift. I've did that multiple times, and this is one that intrigues me. This is one where the developer said, "Here's a code I will gladly play." However, I say however, without a code, as much as this looks intriguing, I have to go with no time.
Nice. We just see someone needs to make that a meme. Just screenshot that right there and make it a meme.
No time.
All right, but if you do have time, you can pick it up this summer when it comes out on Switch. And next to last, we have Swim Sanity, and this is from Decoy Games. And you basically take this deep dive as a multiplayer underwater shooter with action-packed co-op versus game modes, all supported on an online and local play. And this game comes with an ocean of content, more than 150 challenges across 8 different modes. And you can toggle between classic dual stick shooter controls or motion aiming, whether you're playing locally or online. And it comes out this summer. This is actually one that I am definitely looking into, especially with the multiplayer aspect. Online could be a blast to play with you guys. That this could be one I could make time for. Barry, what about you?
This is one of those games that, as I was watching it, I do enjoy 2D shmups. I really do. And the more I watched this, I said, this is really cool. And this is another one where it's like, hey, if a code came along, I would gladly give this a shot. I would do a game chat. But unfortunately, there's probably no chance in that happening. And therefore...
Why? Man?
No time.
Oh man, too bad. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, like the shmups are kind of fun and interesting, but I don't usually have tons of people to play, like at least locally, that is. So it might be one of those games, if like all 3 of us are able to play it together, it could be very enjoyable. So I would potentially take a code if we were all offered multiple of them, but I don't think it's a game that I would very much play by myself at all, because it looks like a lot more fun to be played with others. So
yeah, I think if we could definitely get some people that we could play with, that's a definite buy for me. On its own, like you said, Barry or Greg, I wonder if I would enjoy it as much if I was playing it on my own. I think this might be one of those that I need to play with some friends. So, but it comes out this summer, and the Nindies Showcase capped off with one more announcement that I think I'm going to assume here. I think I'm assuming correctly that no one saw coming, and they pulled this kind of out of nowhere. We saw a game called Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer, featuring The Legend of Zelda. And other than it being up there for a type of a game that may compete for the longest title ever, it brings the concept of Zelda and into the world of the Crypt of the Necrodancer. And I'm just going to read this to you like I have the other ones. And if you haven't seen it, be sure to check it out. But it says, in the latest rhythmic action adventure from Brace Yourself Games, you can actually you can enjoy the gameplay of Crypt of the Necrodancer in the setting of the Legend of Zelda series. As Link or Princess Zelda, you can explore randomly generated overworld and dungeons on a quest to save Hyrule and beat every beat of the 25 remixed Zelda tunes, as a chance to move, attack, defend, and more. For modern-looking Lynels, am I pronouncing that right? Lynels to Hyrulean soldiers of old, players must master the instinctive movements of each pixel art enemy and strategically outstep them in rhythmic combat using an arsenal of iconic items from the Legend of Zelda series, as well as the spells and weapons from Crypt of the Necrodancer. And that is coming this spring. I don't think it's going to be as surprising as Greg never playing Asteroids, but I have actually never played Crypt of the Necrodancer or anything in that series or anything. So while I was excited that that Zelda characters are actually coming to another game, an indie game of all things, I was not as excited as some people would be because I'm not into the series. But I have this feeling that Barry might be a big fan of this one. Am I correct?
This is one of those that I've never played Crypt of the Necromancer either.
Oh, okay.
So I've never played it.
Self-homework assignment.
But as I was watching this, I realized right away, I said, this music is familiar. And Link's Awakening is my favorite Zelda game of all time. And I immediately realized this was Telltale Heights. and I was like, why are they playing Talto Heights? Like this is, maybe it's just something that sounds like it. And as I got closer, I'm like, nope, this is it. This is it. Oh my God, this is a great remix. Oh my God. And then I saw Link and Zelda. I'm like, holy crap, like what are they doing? So this is one of those titles I am praying that somebody up there will give this a physical release. However, this is going to be one of those rare exceptions that I will actually purchase a digital title. And yes, I will be playing this one.
Oh man, we need to have like things just falling from the sky right now. This is a hallmark occasion right now.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I will be playing this one. Now, I'm going to try to play it at launch, but I can't guarantee because no time, but I will do my best to play it at launch.
Nice. Greg, have you played Crypt of the Necrodancer or anything like that before? And are you excited about this one?
I have not played Crypt of Necromancer either. I've never really played a whole lot of the rhythmic games just because it didn't seem like it would be my cup of tea. So I've kind of stayed away from like Rhythm Heaven and Rhythm Mix games and all those kinds of games. That being said, this one does intrigue me because I do really enjoy The Legend of Zelda. So I might be willing to give this one a shot and see if that might interest me more in the genre as a whole. I do really love a lot of the Zelda music, and just being able to play as like Link and Zelda seems like it'd be really cool, and hopefully it's something I can get into without having too much struggles with it. So
yeah. I actually I didn't realize it was much of a rhythm game until I started looking into it afterwards. I actually just thought it was kind of an adventure game, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And they got Zelda characters, and I was more intrigued until I found out it was more of a rhythm game, and I was like, I don't really know if I like that anymore. But if it was just straight up adventure, I would be a lot more excited about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I just saw it, got them like hopping to the beats, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like it could be very painful to try to get through. So
yeah, I think the remixed songs though, that's pretty cool. If they should just release those like as a separate album, I totally get it. I mean, if the only way to get that music is to play the game, then I might have to be forced to get it. But because the music sounds great.
I just hope they at least have a sound menu where you can actually listen to all of it without having to unlock it.
That's true. Just buy the game just to go to the menu and play it. Yeah.
It'd just be like Smash Brothers for some people, right? Because some people you can just play the Smash Brothers music while you're walking around with your Switch.
Yeah. I Am Awake is Brandon again, but he's pretty excited about the game. He's a fan of that series as well. And yeah, and you guys are talking in the chat there, Barry. But did it actually get a release on Vita and PS4?
I'm looking right now. I do not see anything about it actually getting a physical release.
Okay.
Maybe it's coming from limited run, and it's just one of those that are coming out later this year. In which case, then I will be picking it up. But as of now, from everything I'm seeing, it does not have a physical release.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad. But yeah, like you said, you might actually just download it instead to go against everything.
I won't be downloading the original, but I will be doing this, and I'll be praying like when the Nintendo survey comes out or whatever, it'll just be like physical release now. Like that's all it'll be. And I'm sure there's going to be a big outcry for physical release on this.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, limited run probably will say, Nintendo, let us do this. People want it. I will offer my firstborn. How's that? Let's go. My wife will kill me for that, but let's.
Oh man, this is recorded forever now.
Yeah, this is recorded. Yeah.
No. He didn't say firstborn. What?
I didn't. Never said that. That's true.
Oh man. So what do you guys think, just in general, as we wrap up this podcast? What do you guys think about the Nindies Showcase as a whole? Was it something that excited you overall, or was it kind of just meh, somewhere in between? What do you think, Greg?
I mean, overall, I think it's usually kind of the normal like Nindies thing. I mean, there's usually only a few takeaway games. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to get those right when they come out, and then I feel like that's usually the case as it goes through. So I don't think there's any way you can say like, oh my gosh, like everything is so awesome and great. But then again, I mean, this is another huge section of games, and it's great that all of these games are going to be gracing Nintendo's platform. So it's very much appreciated just to see all these different developers getting throwing their hat in and getting some of the Switch pie out of it. So I will try to check out as many as I can, but obviously with Barry's theme of the episode, no time, it's a lot of them will have to be either get a review code to be forced to make the time, or it just gets added into the backlog. So
yeah. Barry, what do you think of this showcase?
I've watched all the Nindies directs, and I usually go into them with, I'll probably see some cool games. I'll have no time for those games, so I won't play them, and they'll most likely be digital only. Therefore, I also won't play them. But it's just interesting to see what's out there. And seeing Cuphead was a big step in the right direction towards all those Microsoft rumors. I'm really intrigued to see what E3 brings us, if this is hopefully just the tip of the iceberg, and I hope this isn't all there is to it. But going through, it was typical fare. It was, this looks really great. I would love to play this. I don't have the time for it. It's digital only. Not going to play it. Or this doesn't look interesting to me, so therefore whatever. But then at the end, that totally turned that around. That was something that I didn't expect, and that is a pretty big deal. This is definitely a sign that this new Nintendo is willing to let their franchises be given out, and it's that they did it with Ubisoft with Mario and Rabbids and Starlink, but this is an indie developer, and this is the Zelda franchise, and outside of the terrible Philips developed CDI games, which we were referring to before, the last time they let another developer do Zelda, outside of Hyrule Warriors 2, because that was a spin-off, was Capcom with the Oracle games and Minish Cap, and those were great games, and I never understood why they never let Capcom do any more. The Four Swords they did too, I'm sorry, but that was it. They should totally add more in there, and they should let Capcom do more. So to see this I think could be the beginning of a new step for Nintendo. And they stated they wanted a Zelda game every year. I know that's going to be hard to do unless they count remakes or re-releases. But if they can let other developers do it, I mean, you look at Sonic Mania. Those were Sonic fans making a Sonic game, and it was so much better than Sonic Forces, which was made by Sonic Team. So not saying Nintendo doesn't make good Zelda games, because they absolutely do. But imagine like some Zelda fans getting together and just making an official Zelda title. Like, that would be huge, especially with like Miyamoto overseeing it or something. I just really hope that this is the beginning of something new.
Yeah, those are all really good points for sure. Looks like I'm Wick said he thought the overall impression of the presentation was great. Good surprises. Looking forward to knowing they will be good. And Jakester says that I don't watch the Nindies a lot, but Cuphead and Crypt and the Red Lantern game got him pretty hyped. And yeah, all of those games look great. I think the biggest thing was there was kind of even though there was some themes of mutations and post-apocalyptic worlds, a lot of the games were very different from each other. And so I think that was really cool for me to see, just like the variety of games that are going to be out there on the Switch. And I kept thinking about our Game of the Year awards. Like this year, it could be a tight race for the indies category for us, because there's so many great indies titles that are coming out to the Switch, and I'm sure that there's going to be even more that come out that we don't know about yet. And so it should be like you said, there's so many great games, not enough time, and that's a good problem to have for sure. Very different than the Wii U situation that we had on our hands.
I think I don't think we've seen something like this since, I don't know, like almost like the Super Nintendo or something, because I don't remember having this many games in the backlog and already knowing like, oh my god, like this, like Yoshi just came out a couple days ago, Fire Emblem's coming in July, Mario Maker 2's in June. I mean, it's like I've still got all these games that I still have to play, and then there's still all these even more games that are coming up that I want to play. So I cannot think of any time where we've had this many types of games that we really want coming up so soon, along with all these other ones that are coming out like as it comes up and not having all this time to play them. So
let's also realize this. Nintendo had a Direct in February. Nintendo will have a Direct in June for E3. That leaves April as the middle month in between. This month is also a month we have not 2, but 3 podcasts. And what typically happens after we have a podcast is there's a Nintendo Direct. Will we have a Nintendo Direct in this month to add even more games to play?
It's true. I'm thinking, have they been doing them on Wednesday lately, or could we see one on a Tuesday?
I think we could see one any day, to be honest.
So yeah. I'm thinking April 30th. April 30th, it could happen.
You think that close to E3 instead of more like towards the middle of the month?
Yeah.
Because E3 is in June.
It's true. It's kind of beginning. It might be April 16th, but I feel like it's less than a month away from the Nindies Showcase. Would they be so close? I think it might actually be that week between. So they may actually finally not do one right after our podcast. They may actually shoot for that week, maybe around the 23rd, 24th or something like that. So between the last two the last 2 of this month of the podcast that we do, maybe like that 4th week.
There could be a Direct Mini. They've done those before too.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we have to have more information about Smash Brothers at some point.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to happen this month, right? The 3.0 update. So there's probably going to be something
mystery update that like, it's coming, but we don't know what's in the update.
Yeah, so that very well could be a Direct Mini to talk about that this month.
That's true. Jakester's hoping for Persona 5 announcement to go along with the with Joker, which could have been a perfect time to talk about it today, since it's the day for Jokers, but apparently like we always say, I mean, it's other than not enough time. We also say that, but we say like only time will tell.
Yes.
So who knows? I mean, you might wake up tomorrow and Nintendo goes, NintendoFuse did another podcast. Time to tell everybody about another Nintendo Direct. So
it's coming on Wednesday the 3rd.
It could. For I'll watch it happens. I'll be like, called it.
It really could. Well, guys, I know that we've talked a lot about games coming up. Anything else other than Yoshi that we're hoping to play until we talk again on April 15th? Any big games you're hoping for, Barry?
Yeah, it came out already. Dragon Marked by Death, which came out the same week as Yoshi last week. It's a game I've been looking forward to a lot. A friend of mine plays it, and I was waiting for the physical, and it came out, and I'm like, I'm totally gonna play it. Oh, totally no time. And I have it now. So it's like, oh my God.
Still not enough time.
Still no time, and I want to play this one.
Nice. Greg, any other games you're hoping to play over the next couple weeks?
Well, maybe I'll have to take my homework assignment and play some Asteroids. I don't know.
I think you should.
You should, really.
I'll have to see what kind of platform.
Is it on the Atari collection? That's on the Switch?
Yeah, you get at least three different versions of it on the Atari collection.
So there you go, Greg. You play it right in your Switch.
Sweet.
It's true. And a whole lot more games on there. So I actually recommend that. I did a review. You can check out the review.
Yeah, I'll have to see what other games are on there. I mean, there might be a few that I've played, but I never had an Atari, so unless they were actually physical arcade cabinets, then I probably played a number of them, but not all.
And you might enjoy it. Yeah. Steve says he likes it.
Mm-hmm. Steve's a great collection.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, other than that, maybe Blaster Master Zero might push me over the edge to get it, but I'll have to see.
Nice. Is there a demo? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, they did a demo for the first one, right? Because I think I downloaded the demo, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, well, he would play the first before the second, so download the demo of the first then, Greg.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've talked about so many games tonight, so it's about time to wrap that up. But be sure, before you head out from watching and listening this podcast, be sure to subscribe. We would love your subscription, whether that's on YouTube, whether you're watching us live or after the fact. We would love your subscription, and we would love for you to hit that bell so you can be alerted every about every new video that we post. And if you're listening to this after the fact on your podcast apps of choice, be sure to subscribe there. And if you know someone else that loves Nintendo, loves gaming, and would love to listen to this podcast, be sure to just share it out there with friends. Share us on social media. And speaking of social media, if you're not following NintendoFuse, be sure to do that. We would love to connect with you guys outside of the podcast. We love chatting with you in the chat room during our live shows, but we would love to connect with you outside of that as well throughout the week. So be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on there. And we also have that Facebook group we would love for you to join as well. Just search for NintendoFuse and it'll be easy to find. And be sure to check out NintendoFuse.com for a bunch of other reviews and news and all that sort of thing. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in to another episode of the NintendoFuse podcast. We'll be back on April 15th with another live episode right here on YouTube. So be sure to get your taxes done ahead of time, I guess, and then you can watch the NintendoFuse podcast. At least if you're in the United States. I don't know about other countries. But yeah, Greg, Barry, it's been great to chat games with you again tonight.
Yes, always a pleasure.
Have a great night, guys.
All right, we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.
No time.